Dysfunctionally Functional. I'm Tam, and I'm still new to the whole YouTube thing, my new channel, and I've got a lot of content coming for you guys. A lot of it I'm still having to work on, prepare, do a lot of research, because I want to be able to provide the most accurate, well-informed information that I can. That's important to me. My channel is it's educational, self-help, awareness-based, spreading awareness, knowledge, and entertainment purposes. I am not a professional of any, but I will be discussing a lot of topics of interest to me that I'm passionate about, that are really meaningful to me for different purposes. Some of it will be, it'll all fall under the umbrella of relating it to a balance that we need in life. Hence the name Dysfunctionally Functional. Every video and every topic I will definitely try to bring full circle and relate it to that balance that we need as humans to be able to function effectively. But there will be a big variety of topics within that umbrella. Everything from psychology, things I went through in my childhood traumas and wounds, relationships, relational dynamics, stories and things from my life that I was confronted with and had to endure and overcome and survive and find a way to cope effectively. Different interesting things on that end of the spectrum, the psychological end, covert narcissism, understanding covert narcissism very well, as the average person does not. I will also be discussing different high-profile cases, such as the Watts murder case, the Selena Quintanilla case, different components of those cases, and things that I've seen in my own life or experienced, sort of examining all of that together for learning purposes. Also, I have a deeply spiritual side, so there will be some things like that on the channel. Experiences that I've had, everything from dead celebrity dreams to out-of-body experiences. So I've got a wide variety of topics coming for you guys on this channel. I do. So be sure to like, subscribe, leave me some comments, tell me what you think, because I will be providing content at least once a week, if not more, on a wide variety of interesting subjects. From just an average chick who has been through some shit in my life and seen a thing or two, and hopefully have some perspective to offer you guys. So, because I don't have just the average life. Starting back in childhood, it's not what anyone would call just the average life. So, for this video today, what I want to address is something that's been on my mind a lot the last few weeks. I see a lot of stuff about this, and I'm surrounded by it a lot in my life. People lacking coping skills, okay? And there's no age limit on that. There's no one size fits all. There are times that all of us, whether we're 55 or 15, there are times that all of us lack coping skills. We run across something that we just can't cope with, that it's beyond us, that we may act out or act rashly, react, or just check out, not deal at all. Everybody has a different way of coping, okay? And sometimes even people with the most well-regulated emotional intelligence, with the greatest coping skills, sometimes even they get to a point where they just can't cope as effectively as they used to. Or something happens that's just beyond them. You know, it's not unheard of, okay? We're human. We're human. We're going to make mistakes. We're going to have these things happen. So, guys, none of this is scripted. I usually do my best. I started on Facebook a couple years ago. I usually do my best when I just take a mood and want to talk and start letting it come out of me. That is when I usually am at my best. If I try to script something or read off of a notepad, it just doesn't feel as authentic to me. It doesn't come out as passionately or from spirit like I need it to. And so I don't generally do that. Now, I do my work. I do take notes. I do research things, and I do prepare somewhat for these videos. And I will be doing a lot more preparing in the future. Because, like I said, I want to be able to provide you an accurate, well-balanced, definitely well-informed perspective. So, and a lot of that is not going to just come from book study. A lot of that is not going to just come from research. A lot of that is going to come from hard-earned experience. Things that I have absolutely had to live through, endure, crawl through, suffer through, be around all the time, and really just had to work my way through that. So a lot of it will be insight and wisdom from hands-on experiences with certain things that I myself had to figure out a way to do. Okay. This light's really bothering me. So this morning, I'm having a cup of coffee and I want to talk about responsible coping, okay? I saw a post on Facebook a couple days ago. It's a page that I'm very fond of. I follow his work. He puts out a lot of good psychological and spiritual material. And this particular post was about healing. And the basic gist of the post was, listen, we need to stop judging people and telling them when it is time for them to be healed up from trauma, being hurt, divorce, breakups, death in the family, childhood trauma, whatever the hell. That was the basic post, is that, I can't repeat it word for word, but it was very good and I agreed with it very much to a large extent. Basically was saying, look, it's not your business or your right to tell anyone else how they should be healing, what methods they need to use to heal from something, how quickly they should have that done. And I do see a lot of that in our society. People rushing everyone to hurry up and be healed. Oh, you're just staying stuck in a negative vibration, so you're going to attract more negative if you don't hurry up and get out of there. So why don't you go ahead and move that energy really quickly so that you won't. That's not realistic. I don't agree with that, okay? Because I have my own method of healing. I know what's right for me and my body. And even some of the most well-respected psychologists, therapists, mentors, gurus, shamans, whatever, people that might be out there in the world or that I've, learned from or study under or take in their knowledge that I respect, I still have my own law. You know what I'm saying? I can take in respected information from people and absolutely value it, filter it, process it through my system, get a lot from it and learn from it, and highly value and respect their work. But at the end of the day, I am a law unto myself. I have my very own strong sense of identity. I've been working on that since I was a child. That started when I was very young. I think it's important to have that. I have my very own mind, and I think for myself, regardless. I question things, I examine things, and I don't always just take things lying down at face value. I don't care who it comes from or how well respected they are. I've still got to filter their information and teaching through my own personal experiences, my traumas, my chemistry, my personality, and what works for me. And that's what I do. And so I don't necessarily agree when you've got these people out there that just look at you and say, oh, you're too negative. You're always harping on in this negative way. You're writing about your pain. You're expressing it in a dark fashion. You are stuck in a victim mentality. You are going to attract more darkness. You need to hurry up and move that energy. Okay, I very much understand the importance of that. And yes, I agree with that. However, a lot of times these people that are saying this either don't know you personally or they don't live with you 24/7 and they don't really understand the full situation and balance of you personally. They may not know that you're aware of that, but that you have your very own process to where it may take you a little bit longer to stop expressing it in a dark fashion. Or perhaps you want to express it in a dark fashion. Perhaps that's your process. Perhaps you are a creative type who writes songs, who creates artwork, who makes films, who whatever. And a lot of creative types do tend to hold on to their darkness in a certain way. They tend to use the darkness, the toxic, the desires that most people try to deny that they even have. You know, human beings are complex. We're not just robotic smiley faces that are always going to be happy, positive, namaste, my energy is perfect. You know, we're complex. Okay? And that is part of what I'm about here on this channel, is accepting both our light and our dark sides and being able to marry the two of those and use them for the most effective, productive ways that we can to get through our lives, to produce, to enjoy, to understand ourselves. You know, that's a lot of what I'm about here, is accepting self for who we are, where we are right now, what we've lived through, what made us, no matter how dark, disgusting, shameful it was. Accepting who we are, what we look like, what we're going through. Really accepting that about ourselves and not being too lost in some cloud of, I need to be somebody else and I need to hurry up and be somebody else. And no, accepting ourselves, but at the same time, realizing that we are a work in progress and that we do have work to continue doing and continuing our self-inventory, our self-improvement, our learning, betterment of ourselves, increasing our awareness and knowledge, spiritual evolution, whatever. Okay? So that balance, not necessarily just, oh, I'm an empath and I'm really kind and sweet and I never have a fierce word to say. And I don't ever have a dark thought. No. Okay? Fuck that. Never that extreme. But also, never being stuck in the extreme of, you know, the alternative. I'm just a miserable, wounded, burnout. Why bother? Everything sucks. I'm going to put my attitude all over everybody. What a poor, pitiful victim I am. If I can't be happy, then neither can you. Just that very selfish, toxic mentality. Victim. Just literally using your own pain and trauma not to heal, not to work on it, not to express it in some way, but just to hang on to it and stay stuck in it forever and put it all over everyone and gain pity and get your needs met like that and just be a big helpless baby. You know, no, neither one of those extremes, okay? And so I do understand that none of us are perfect. You know, this life is hard. And a lot of times we have good intentions and it falls through on us. But responsible coping is very, very important. And in order to be able to cope responsibly, we first have to work on our emotional intelligence. We have to make sure that's in order, okay? And the way we do that is by not choosing really toxic coping skills. The way we grow in our emotional intelligence is not to immediately, when there's a trauma or something to cope with in our lives, not to immediately run from that. Try to escape it, deny it, pretend it didn't happen, try to escape through substances, self-medication, check out of our mind, cartoon out, go straight into denial. Many toxic coping methods that people run to, and a lot of it stems all the way back to childhood, so that their emotional intelligence doesn't develop well, so that they find themselves in middle age and even older unable to cope at all, unable to really be in reality at all. They find themselves completely in denial, overly nice, a doormat, no boundaries, unable to speak up to anyone, or they find themselves substance abuse, sickly, just really eaten up, you know what I'm saying? And so it's really, really, really important that we face things, okay? As hard as it is, it's really important that we face our issues, because that helps us develop our emotional intelligence and our coping. And I personally can look back over my timeline in life and see the progress. I can see, and that's why I have an insight into certain things, is because I've done it. I've done it. I was that end of the extreme at one point in my life that was way too negative, that was way too hateful, way too narcissistic, way too manipulative, way too wounded. I have been that dark extreme before in early life. And it took me years of working on it, facing it, admitting who I was, really facing who I was, getting in there and examining who I was and what I've been through. A lot of people don't do that. They don't take the time to do that. They just grab the next thing that can entertain them, the next thing that can distract them, make them feel good, and they keep on trucking through life. I'm telling you, that's very detrimental. And if you choose to do that, it is a selfish choice. It really is. Because at some point later on in your life, it's going to come back on someone else. You're going to hurt someone around you. You're going to affect someone around you. It's really gonna come out later in your life. And I know the older I get, I'm finding that it's kind of a rare person that really is that self-aware. That they really have that much self-awareness that they become aware of these things. They want to look it up. They want to research it. They want to go to therapy. They want to examine it. They want to get to know themselves. And they want to make sure they are doing their part, not only to heal themselves, but to make sure that they get better and better about not putting any extra load on any other human being. Not putting any extra emotional weight, any extra need, any extra that doesn't belong to another person. Okay? It's a rare person that really fully wants to take that much self-responsibility. But it's important, okay? And so, that balance, guys. That balance of taking your time when you've been traumatized, taking your time when you've lost a family member, there's been a death, a divorce, a breakup, you've lost a job, something terribly shocking has happened to your life, whatever, you're depressed, you feel insecure, whatever. That balance of giving yourself time to feel those feelings, examine those feelings properly, give them their time, and figure out what works for you, some effective coping skills, okay? If it's dark, so be it. For a lot of people, it's going to seem dark to others. You might want to talk about it in a very dark, negative way. You might want to use a lot of cuss words. You might want to cuss about it. You might want to express it in an angry way. There might be a darkness to how you convey it, but it's how it's done that matters. If you are putting it into a piece of writing, or you are making a video for social media and expressing it that way, if you're creating a piece of artwork, channeling that energy of what happened to you into that, you are giving yourself time in private or with a therapist to examine what happened and how you feel about it, and getting some positive, effective coping strategies. If you're using it in that manner, to me, that's fine. That is a responsible way of coping with pain and trauma. At least you're moving through it to a degree. You're not staying stuck in it like a victim. And you're not putting it all over everyone else in a very selfish way. Okay? That's the balance I'm talking about. Not tipping that scale to where you're not doing anything with your pain except trying to avoid it. Grabbing on, oh, I need to go out with somebody. Let me find a date. Or, oh my God, I need to go get some alcohol. I got to get high. Or losing yourself, becoming a cartoon mind, losing yourself in trivial surface pursuits, and just never being able to really go beneath the surface much, never being able to be really deep. Just, if you keep doing that shit long enough, you will become a cartoon character. You will become a person that can't talk about anything more than some surface bullshit. You know, if you keep running like that in your mind forever, then your mind will start to get worse and worse, stuck like that. You won't be able to go any deeper. So, just keeping that balance, okay? I don't believe in these people coming down on everybody saying, you know, well, you're just mean and you're dark and terrible and you need to get that negative energy off of you. You're just stuck. You're going to be there forever. You're promoting negativity. You sound angry. You're talking about dark and angry things. I don't believe in that, okay? I believe in feeling every single one of my emotions for however long I need to feel them. I believe in teaching people to effectively and responsibly get in touch with every emotion that they have and understand it. So many people are afraid of anger. They're afraid of rage. They're afraid of sorrow. They're afraid of depression. I know I am. I don't like to feel that way, man. And a lot of times in my life, I would do anything to avoid it. But I will say this, being overly positive all the time is also a form of denial. It is also a checkout. For you to be overly positive. Oh, I'm fine. Everything's fine. I'm not angry. Oh, I don't have any. No, I'm just fine. I'm meditating today and I'm healing up, and oh no, I would never say it like that, or I would never have an angry word. That's bullshit. It's bullshit. It's not authentic. And I will never be that. I don't care who says what, who judges what. I will never be one to be that way. Because when something happens to me, I'm going to get in touch with the real, authentic, raw emotion of what I am actually feeling. I'm not going to deny myself that. I'm going to get in touch with what is that? What am I feeling? What happened and what am I feeling about it and why? Is it anger? Then I'm pissed. And I'm going to say I'm pissed. And I'm going to find a way to channel that anger responsibly and effectively and productively somehow. That's what I'm going to do. But as far as me sitting back going, oh no, I could never say that. Oh no, that would give everyone the impression that I'm not a nice person if I got that angry. Pfft, please. It sends the wrong message to people to make them feel like they should be ashamed to get angry. They should be ashamed to have a raw, authentic emotion. So I don't encourage people to stuff that. I don't encourage people to hurry up and get rid of that. But what I do encourage them to do is to feel that raw emotion responsibly. The difference between I'm pissed off at somebody and I'm getting in touch with my real authentic anger. I mean, I'm fucking furious, right? The difference between I'm going to go out and attack them physically, beat them up, or go overboard in some really toxic, negative way. I'm going to go grab alcohol or drugs and just drown myself in that because I'm so angry and so pissed. Or I'm going to take it out on everybody at my house or at my job. Or I'm going to, there's 1,000,001 ways you can go overboard and cope with it in a very toxic way. That's the difference between that and take that fucking rage, that anger, and don't deny it. Keep it. Use it. Feel it. Examine it. But pour it into something responsible and productive. I don't care. Get a notebook out. Get your journal out. Write a song. Paint a painting. Go outside. Hang up a punching bag and beat the hell out of it. Invest yourself in a workout. Get on Facebook and post something. Write about it. Make a video. Create a character. Create an angry character who cusses the hell out of everybody. Whatever. But those are positive, responsible coping methods to be able to keep your balance. To be able to actually have your authentic rage, your authentic anger, not have to deny it or push it down too far or move through it more quickly than you want to. I'm not going to move through my anger, my pain, my sorrow on your timeline as fast as you want me to. But it doesn't mean I'm stuck there. And it doesn't mean there's anything wrong with me. It just means I'm working it in my time and my process. Okay? So that's the difference, you guys. That is the difference. If you find a positive, productive, effective way, you can still hold on to that raw emotion and not be fake and really work through it in your own time in a positive, productive way rather than deny it, go to self-destruction, go overboard the other way, too positive or too negative, just a balance, okay? Just a balance. And whether you like it or not, I know a lot of people hate to hear this shit, it's your fucking responsibility. Pardon my language. But this is something that really gets at me because I've been surrounded by it a lot in my life of grown adults who think they have a right to just literally throw their hands up and not cope. Just throw their hands up because they're depressed, they're traumatized, they're tired, they give up, and they put all of that responsibility on everyone around them. Turning to substances and choosing to be too toxic and choosing to not face themselves, choosing to not cope with it at all. That comes out on other people in other situations. Then they end up manipulating and lying and denying, and they can't really be there for you in really serious times. It ends up being a very toxic thing, okay? And so it is your responsibility to cope with your life responsibly, effectively, face your shit as an adult, but know your balances too, okay? Thanks, you guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave me some comments. Tell me what you think about things. I'll be back with more content soon.